This video tutorial looks at matrices, and more specifically we're going to focus our understanding on zero matrices and what negative matrices are. So the first thing we need to understand is what is a zero matrix. So essentially a zero matrix is a matrix where every element is equal to zero. So we've got some examples here of a 2 by 2 matrix, just here, and a 2 by 3 matrix that are zero matrix because, as you can see, every element inside or every number inside is a zero. And it's really important to understand that when you add a zero matrix or you subtract a zero matrix, you actually still keep the same original matrix. And an example of that is down here, okay, we've got a 2 by 2 matrix. Here, we're adding a 2 by 2 zero matrix, so we're actually essentially adding nothing, and we end up with exactly what we started with. So I guess what is a negative matrix? Well, a negative matrix is exactly the same as a positive matrix, but obviously all the elements are the negative equivalent. Essentially, I guess a negative matrix is the equivalent positive matrix all multiplied by -1. And we can see that here because we have a matrix labeled A. All right. So then our negative A, all right, is essentially all of our A values multiplied by -1. So you can see that our final value for -A is essentially the same as our positive A, but every element inside has been multiplied by -1. Okay. Something else to just take note of is that when you add a positive matrix to its equivalent negative matrix, obviously the answer is going to be 0, and that is shown, or the answer is going to be a zero matrix, I should say, and that's going to be shown just down here. So here are some practice questions that I would like you to have a go at. Please feel free to pause the video. Once you think you've got the answers, continue the video and we'll see how you went. So let's have a look at your answers. So for the first question, we've been given a matrix labeled B. We need to find the negative of B. So we're essentially going to times or multiply everything inside our B matrix by -1, which will give us -6, -12, -24, and -6. And in our second part, it says if B equals this matrix, we need to find 3B minus 3B. Well, 3B minus 3B would essentially give us a zero matrix where every element inside would be 0, and that would be your answer.